Hey everyone, it's me, Mr. Mario. So, I wanted to make a video while this was still relevant, and really strike while the iron is still hot, I guess you can say, and really just get the video out there, while it's still relevant news, because if I make this video and I, upload it a week later while this is kind of buzzed down, well, I'm hoping it's buzzed down, but we'll see what happens, it's not really going to be as relevant anymore. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this topic. So, last night, I was on the internet as usual, and I see this one guy, Orth, who I've never heard of, who is apparently, as his Twitter says right here, the creative director, well, a creative director, at Microsoft Studios. Pretty much what happened is he has his own personal Twitter right here, and it is actually privatized. So I will link his Twitter in the description and all that, but he has set everything to private, but I will put screenshots and all that good stuff. Essentially what happened is people were talking to him, fellow people on Twitter were talking to him about the next Xbox and the rumors coming out of it being an online-only system. In case you don't know, there are a ton of rumors right now speculating that the next-gen Xbox will require an always-online service, which means that you're always going to have to be logged into Xbox Live. And right now they are saying that if you are not offline for 3 minutes, you can't run any games, you can't run any applications, so you have to always be online. It's always online DRM, which has been seen in Diablo 3 and the new SimCity and countless other games that, well, we've seen what happened. Anyways, backstory on that. So pretty much what happened was Adam goes on to, and am I saying, yeah, Adam. Okay, I forgot his, see, he's not even that important. I can't even remember his name, but I don't really think highly of him. Despite all of that, Adam starts saying on Twitter that he doesn't think it's that big of a deal. He doesn't see the big deal, the reasoning, the fights about the new Xbox, that it has to be always online. He doesn't see why it is such an issue. And there were people who were, talking to him, and they were saying, like, they weren't, saying anything bad. They were just being polite, and they were saying, there are people who don't have internet. That's just it. There are people who do not want to stay connected all the time on their Xbox. And he was being pretty douchey about it. That's the only way to say it. He was pretty much saying, like, for example, one guy, he said, and I'm just getting all this off memory, I'll try and put screenshots down below if possible. One person was saying, you, for example, Adam, you have always lived in very connected cities. What if you lived in this city? What if you lived in that city? And Adam just said, why would I live in those cities? There were also some people who, they were saying that it was unfair. They were calling him, arrogant and all that. And he put the hashtag deal with it. He even put that one little meme face with, Obama on his phone, and he's like smirking to the camera, and it just said deal with it on there. So right now, that's a whole thing that's going on. Then he proceeded to say other things like, my electricity goes out, so I'm not going to get a vacuum. Kind of, making fun of it. But you see, there's a difference in there. The thing is, you're not always going to be vacuuming. Just like video games, you don't always need to be online to enjoy a single-player game. That's just not practical, and with a console, it really isn't. Pretty much what happened is all of these tweets ended up getting screenshotted. They got posted onto all the big sites. Reddit, Imgur, well, Imgur was already on there. They got linked to Reddit. They went from Reddit to all the other sites. They got onto Facebook, all the other gaming sites like Kotaku, all that stuff. It blew up within like an hour, maybe. Pretty much what happened then was Adam hopefully saw the wrong ways of his doings, and then proceeded to start saying, oh yeah, well, those were just jokes, I was just trolling, those were my friends, and everyone saw through his BS just like some cheap toilet paper. So what happened was he set his Twitter to private, so you can't see anything he's doing unless you are a follower. And if you want to follow a private Twitter, you have to follow it, and then the user has to confirm it. So most people will not be able to see, will not be able to see what he is saying. So what do I think of the whole situation? First off, I am not a Microsoft hater, okay? I use Windows, I'm happy with it. I have several Microsoft devices, and some people think I don't like Microsoft because, I've had some negative issues with the 360, the Xbox, some Windows things, all this stuff, but if I really hated Microsoft, I would not be paying for Xbox Live. I would not have the Xboxes, even if they are modded. That really doesn't have anything to do with it. I enjoy modding, I enjoy tampering with things. This computer, it's custom built, I enjoy messing with things on here and all that stuff. But I am not a Microsoft hater, but this has really changed my opinion of their PR. And see, some people have said, oh, well, you know, this is Adam's private Twitter, so it really doesn't matter what he says. Well, he still represents Microsoft. It even says in the bio, Creative Director at Microsoft Studios. So, he represents Microsoft. That's the same thing as saying, oh, well, you know, Bill Gates isn't affiliated with Microsoft anymore. He's not the chairman over at Microsoft anymore, so he can say whatever he wants to. But really, how would it look if, and let it be known, I'm not saying that Adam right here is as important as Bill Gates, okay? But how would it look for Microsoft if Bill Gates came out and he started saying, oh yeah, you know, Apple sucks, Android is terrible, all this other stuff, you should just go to Microsoft. Or if he did the opposite, if he said, Windows sucks, the Xbox is a terrible system, you shouldn't buy the new Xbox. How would that look for Microsoft? I mean, Bill Gates doesn't work there anymore, but he's affiliated with them. If Steve Jobs was still alive, how would it look with him? I mean, let's say he was still working at Apple until the very death of him, but what if he had his own private Twitter, where he could say whatever he wanted to, but he started bad-mouthing the competition? How would that look for Apple as a company? You see, this really isn't good for Microsoft's PR, and with all of this, I really hope that always online DRM does not come on the next console. The Wii U doesn't have it, the PS4 doesn't have it. The PS4 dropped the rumor of any used games being blocked. Sony came out and said that, so they're in the clear right now, and they don't have always online DRM. But so far, we really don't know anything of the next Xbox, and that's another thing, that we really don't know anything, so all these rumors are just rumors. But how does it look when people like this guy right here, this douchebag over here, are defending always online DRM on consoles? How does it look? Well, I can honestly say, I mean, I've seen quite a lot of people, and I don't know if they're going to stick to this, but quite a lot of people I know are now saying that this is one of the factoring reasons why they might not buy an Xbox, because of always online DRM, but because this guy is almost certainly hinting that the new console will have always online DRM. But as for Adam himself, what do I think about him? Well, I think he is an arrogant, self-centered douche who really is not a consumer anymore. He is airheaded, and he thinks, oh yeah, I work at Microsoft, I'm a creative director there, I'm better than all of you, you should just conform to my life. Well, there are people who don't have the internet. There are people who have terrible internet. There are people who have great internet but might just not want to be online. I myself max out my 100 megabit connection at any given time. However, there are multiple times where I'll be on my Xbox and I just unplug the Ethernet connector, well, the Ethernet port, Ethernet cable, sorry, I had to think of it, but I just unplug the Ethernet cable because I want to play offline. I don't want to sit there online and see this person's online, this person's online, this person's online, this person sent you a message, this person sent you an Xbox Live Party chat request. You know what I mean? Sometimes I just want to chill, I just want to be offline, I don't want to think about anything, I'll be good to go. And that's how it is with other people. I mean, imagine if there's an internet outage. That means if you don't have the internet going, you can't connect to Xbox Live, you can't play any games. If Xbox Live is having some maintenance, let's say they have 2 days worth of maintenance, and it has happened before, they've had a day of maintenance, they've had a week of maintenance because of hackers back in 2007, but what if something like that happens? That means that for the entirety Xbox Live is out, you cannot play your console that you paid maybe $400 or $500 for. You can't play any of your games that you've paid $60, $70 for. So, really, this is the wrong move for Microsoft. Now, I'm calling it right now, I don't think they're going to go through with the always online DRM, just because it is a dumb idea. However, I will honestly hate it if Microsoft proves me wrong in here. So Microsoft, please don't prove me wrong. But that's really what I have to say with this issue. Anyways, this is Mr. Mario, signing off. Thanks for watching, everyone.